Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by the Nintendo power couple, Danny and Felia, to discuss our hands-on time with Sushi Strikers, The Way of Sushido. So, Felia, let's start with you. What do you think of our time with the game at this event that Nintendo held?
It was a lot of fun. Well, as you may or may not know, we got to play it a little bit at PAX before, and the first thing we'll definitely both say to anyone trying to get into the game is definitely give it a try. You have to play it to realize how much fun it actually is.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
I'm pretty much in complete agreement with you, Felia, and you, Danny, just because... Well, I had no interest in this game before we played it. Ash said the same thing. It was like, that looks silly, but it's not really for me.
Yeah, when you see the trailer, like when we saw the trailer, we were like, I don't know what that is or why we're getting this, but okay, we'll try it. And then when we got a chance to actually try it at PAX, we're like, whoa, this is actually a lot of fun. And the cutscenes are really hilarious.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is like really addictive. So they definitely need to put a demo out.
Yeah, I said that with Ash when we got done with our little playtime at PAX East as well, and we were both like, wow, this is actually really fun. Holy crap, Nintendo needs a demo of this game, stat. Otherwise, it's just not going to get any interest because it's just looking at it, like even when I look at my own footage, I'm like, man, this looks chaotic and nonsensical.
Yes.
It really does not come across well in video, but when you play it, it really does click. And did you get that sense as well, Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I noticed was that, because I agree with everything with the fact that I wasn't interested in it at all, and I was one that filmed Felia at PAX, and I was watching her play, and I didn't realize that they actually had like fully animated anime cutscenes with voice acting in it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how in-depth the story was because they showed the trailer, and it just looked like a chaotic game where you were just flinging sushi plates. And when I was watching Felia play, I was like, wow, there's a story to this. Like, It's a really funny anime I'm watching, as well as some really fun gameplay in between.
And luckily, at the event at Yo Sushi, we actually got to see a little bit more of those animated cutscenes and get a little bit more of the backstory, and you really get to see how dynamic the characters are, and it makes you want to see more and want to play more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely feel the same way. It's this weird world that sushi and fish don't exist, but then there's these sushi spirits that create sushi, and it was like, oh, holy crap, I've been missing out on this all the time. And of course, the evil villains want to hoard all the sushi for themselves, and we can't have that. And it's that weird, whimsical tone that just works for a Saturday morning cartoon show. Like, I could totally see this being a variation of Samurai Pizza Cats, for example. Just something weird and like, sure, let's go with it. It's just whatever.
There is one big danger with playing this game, though. You will want to eat sushi.
Yes, yeah. I think it should be shipped. I mean, it might be bad to ship it with sushi, but it should be shipped with sushi. It might not be good for on the shelves, but you got to have sushi with the game. I think you should eat sushi along when you play.
I'll be pulling out some like old rice and trying to roll it up and make it happen.
Killing two things at once, trying to keep up with it. Yeah, it is. It looks really good. And for those of you who are not aware of how exactly the game plays, it's essentially a puzzler where sushi plates are going across conveyor belts, and you're picking out the sushi that you want to get. But the trick of it is that you're picking sushi that all rests on the same color plate. So you're matching plates and trying to stack them as high as you can, and then once you stack them, you can then throw them at the opponent and deplete their HP. So you're constantly trying to gather as many plates as possible and build up these combos. And then you also have those sushi spirits that can create sushi with special abilities, like maybe making all the sushi the same so you can actually grab a bunch all in one go, or make the plates electric and do more damage. And it's one of those things where it doesn't make sense when you hear it, but it clicks very quickly.
Yeah, and we were talking about it before, even the fact that you can play it with the touchscreen or with the regular controls, like, makes it even more fun, because when we were playing it at the event, I was actually somehow playing with the controls with one hand and also touchscreening with the other one.
That's how I ended up playing too.
Yeah, it made a whole new like hybrid way to play the Switch that I never even tried before.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's it's really funny how it just sort of clicks with you pretty quickly. Like they said, just try to match plates. Don't worry about you not getting, super high stacks. Just go with it, and you'll just sort of naturally pick it up and realize what exactly you need to do. And that's exactly what happened for me.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. Because what I thought before we played, I thought you were matching the type of sushi. So I went into it thinking like you had to find all the same type of sushi rolls, and then when they said it was plates, that took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be the plates and not the actual sushi on the plates. So it made me look for like the specific colors and trying to frantically try to get them together.
There's also added layers of strategy, like you were talking about with the sprites, but also with the there's like little plates that have little timers on them that trigger other combos that you can do. If you collect a certain amount of plates and then get the clock, you can like freeze your opponent and then get an opportunity to like throw more plates at them. So there's a lot of strategy to it too that all happens very quickly.
Yeah, that's the key thing about this, is that each one of these matches, 2 minutes at most? I never spent that long with any one mission where I'm fighting against the AI. Like, it usually got done within 2 minutes and ready to go on to the next one. So it's these wonderful quick bursts of gameplay.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I was surprised at how, when they were showing like the world map, how many levels there actually are that has this entire story into it, which was really surprising. I mean, even what they showed us was a lot, and they said that was only a small taste of what's to come.
Yeah, they showed the overworld map, and some of it was actually in clouds, so we couldn't see the whole thing. But even the first section,
the first world had a ton of levels in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like 20 something? I can't even remember. I think it was like,
I think they've said over 150, maybe even 200 levels.
Wow.
Somewhere around there. But I mean, the other thing that you find out is that you can earn stars by fulfilling certain goals as you're playing each level, and then you can use those stars to unlock even more levels and have like special levels that you can actually do. And I don't know if they're any harder or not, because we weren't allowed to actually play them. I tried to ask, but they weren't sure, so they just said, let's be safe and say no. And yeah, it's just like, man, it does really make you want to get those high scores and do more and just get better. Because, I don't know, I found myself really addicted to the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the good thing is, even if you don't, like, it's graded based on how well you play.
Yeah, your letter grade.
Because I definitely got D's a lot. But it kind of motivates you when you finish your battle and you see your stats and you get your letter grade. It makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm going to do better. I'm going to go back in, fight that guy, and kick his butt this time.
and even with the fact that you can level up your character and your sprites, it makes you want to play better, because now you're leveling up, you're increasing the levels of every sprite that you're using in battle, and your character, your main character.
And even the strategy of unlocking them and then switching your team up. And whatever you end up figuring out, you have different ways of playing that say, I would choose a different team than you would.
It gave me a Yokai Watch feeling a little bit when I was playing it, because I had that feeling of like a little magical sprite characters. They were really unique looking.
And the comedy is very similar. It's like that quirky, the animated cutscenes have that same sort of like quirky...
It's like Yokai Watch meets Pokemon meets sushi.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong in that description. It does match very well. And I do love all the strategy that you can really use with the sushi sprites, because you mentioned how they each have their different abilities. They can level up, become more powerful. But another thing they told us is that they actually also determine what color plates go by on your conveyor. So you almost want to use sprites that have a lot of similar colored plates, because then all of a sudden it becomes a lot easier to match up the same color ones and get those high combos. So I like how there's just all these different layers that you come across as you play. And honestly, I left there just wanting to play more.
Yeah, which is, like you said, another reason why there needs to be a demo to show people how much fun this game actually is.
None of this was in the direct trailer. Like, I got none of this information from watching the trailer originally, and it's just surprising how much depth is in this game that they haven't shown off yet. So I'm curious if they're going to do if they're going to reveal more later on or put a demo out, because, I think it would sell a lot more if people got to actually play with the mechanics and see the cutscenes and, see the sprites, the little characters.
Yeah, you're going to fall in love with those cute little characters. And there's all... they actually showed us, like, an entire list of all the different guys, and they're all they look different, and they're all different designs, and
There's like a Lucky Cat one.
They'll definitely appeal to different personalities.
Yes.
Like there's the one that looks like a cat, there's the one that looks like a unicorn, the Lucky Cat.
Yep.
I already know I need this unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah. Just needs to be on that team. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully he has a
good
skills.
ability.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Let's hope so. Yeah, I mean, it really is amazing how much effort they put into this game because you can choose between a boy or a girl, and
Which is cool.
Which I love.
yeah. But the other thing is that you don't have a silent protagonist. Musashi, that's the name of either of them, whether you pick boy or girl, speaks during these cutscenes. So they had to fully record one for the boy and one for the girl, and that's rather impressive. There's a lot of effort being put into this, and it's such a good thing that they put this on the Switch because it's probably going to get buried on the Switch, let's be honest, but it would definitely get buried on the 3DS. And it says something where I haven't even seen the game being played on the 3DS yet. They said there's not really any differences between the Switch and Wii U, Switch and Wii U 3DS version. And the really only major difference is you can use the stylus on the 3DS, and you can't have somebody use a 3DS and challenge somebody with a Switch. There's no crossplay there, which is a bit unfortunate, but I guess that kind of works. But I guess I ended up really enjoying the button controls for Sushi Striker. Did you guys? I tried out a little bit of the touch controls, and it didn't really click as well for me. I felt like I was doing way worse. Did you guys try either of both control styles?
Well, I did. I started with motion controls, and I kept saying how I think I was even telling you at the event motion controls are the way to go. This is it's so much fun.
With the touchscreen.
Yeah, with the motion controls, with the touchscreen. But then I tried using the actual control stick itself, and it was way more accurate because I found myself holding the A button, I think, and then just moving the stick around so I could get as much sushi rather than sliding my finger and accidentally picking up on the wrong sushi. It's a lot of the times maybe my finger was too big. I was picking the wrong plates when I meant to slide on another plate. So I think after a while I went for the traditional controls over the touchscreen.
That's a good point, though, because sometimes when you're playing, and because there's so much going on in the screen at the same time, I did feel like my big ham hands were getting in the way of me seeing what was actually going on at sometimes. So maybe that's why I ended up doing a little bit of combo of each, because it's really cool, feeling just the way that feels doing the touchscreen. It was a lot of fun playing it like that, but I agree, it's probably easier and maybe more
effective.
Yeah.
I found myself getting in the way of being able to see what I needed to do. I didn't feel as accurate. The other thing was I'm able to swirl around the thumb pad, the control stick a lot more, and be able to oh cool, it jumps to that, and it helps you just sort of get an idea what your limitations are without it with the traditional controls. I feel did hear a bunch of people at that event though say they did prefer the touch controls, so it's one of those things where you just got to figure out which you prefer and which work, and I'm you'll have a fun time either way, but honestly I think I kind of love the multiplayer more than anything else.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
You guys had some matches between each other right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
We did, and I was terrible because I was using the touchscreen.
And I was traditional.
Which I like using because I like the feeling of I'm touching it and actually connecting the plates, and then also you don't have to do this, but I was throwing the plates at
Flicking
the enemy.
Flicking the plates with your finger.
It does it automatically, but it was more fun and interactive to do it, and I totally think maybe I'm making an excuse for myself for losing, but I totally think that's probably what made it worse for myself.
Yeah, the multiplayer was a lot of fun, and Feely and I played I guess the regular one-on-one. Mainly, we didn't do
There's
the chaotic
the chaos,
one.
Yeah,
we did the regular one back and forth, and that was a lot of fun because and what I found was that it was very competitive, because there were a lot of close games between us, but I always felt hey, let's do another one. Let's see how this one goes this time, because it depends.
Absolutely.
Each game was different, and
again, back to the fact that it's a quick battle.
Yes.
It's
like you said, there are
intense
2 minutes or
yeah.
so. It's, within 2 minutes, you're like, oh, let's go again. That was 2 minutes. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Bursts of adrenaline.
Yeah, burst of adrenaline.
And you guys had some pretty awesome battles too.
Yeah, we did.
We absolutely did. It was fun because I was playing with a couple other people, and then we decided to try to face each other in this, and we went with, I believe, the chaotic battles for this one.
Yes, we
just
did.
testing those out. And basically, what the difference is between regular and chaotic is regular has it's your basic Sushi Striker gameplay, no extra items or anything like that. With chaotic, there's these special trays that go across the middle, as Felia was talking about earlier, where you have to stack a certain amount of plates, and if you can get to the middle conveyor, which both players can access, you can get special bonuses for yourself, such as stopping time for the other person, or hey, here's some more points, or here, let's fill up your special gauge so you earn your sprite attacks even quicker, stuff like that. And it really does get competitive with going for those middle ones, because we've had so many times where it was like, let's get the, I'm ready to get the middle one, and then you grabbed it or I grabbed it. It's like, crap,
Yep.
you gotta keep going.
Yep.
It's that right kind of chaos where you even though it's like all kinds of crap happening at the same time, you still feel like you're in control of what's happening. It's your fault if you can't get there. You're just not fast enough. You don't have the right setup. And I like that sense of it.
I agree with that. That's a good point, because I agree that it was very chaotic, but I never felt like I wasn't in control of the game, or like the game got too much ahead of me. Like I always felt, like you said, even if I lost, it was something that I messed up on, or I wasn't quick enough to get to the middle conveyor belt. But I never once felt like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going kind of crazy, hoping for the best. Like I was trying to do strategy. I was trying to gather enough plates and
But it happened
save.
so fast.
But it happened so fast, trying to save my sprite up, because you beat Philia, and I had to avenge my wife, and I had to come back.
I mean, I can't help that I beat your wife. No, it was fun. We had a good 2 out
Yes.
of we had a best 2 out of 3, and I think I beat you there. And then I took
won.
on Philia, beat her, and then
Yep.
I was like, well, I gotta avenge my wife, and then you actually did beat me that time.
Yeah, I had to come back, and I couldn't lose that one. That's when I definitely had to make sure. I wanted to go home, happy wife, happy life. I'm like, I need to beat you in Sushi Strikers one time.
What you don't see is he's getting a hug right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
avenged
perfect.
me.
I mean, yeah, I think that's the great thing. Everybody was having a really good time with this mode, and I like the sense that they did say that, you have levels in this game, but if you play multiplayer, whether online or local, everybody gets is set at the same level. But the strategy of which
Yes.
sushi sprites you use still come into play, so you can really bank off your strategy there, and you can have different loadouts. It's really convenient, really fun. It's available online, and yeah, I mean, I really did come away from this game just more and more impressed, and I it's one of those ones you're like, I want to shout from the rooftops, please try this game out, and it's just not going to work.
And that's the other thing with the multiplayer. We played Switch to Switch, but at the event, they did talk about there actually being multiplayer on the Switch itself.
One Switch with 2 people.
Yeah, where one person plays in the foreground and one person plays in the background. So the more... the theory is the more skilled player could play in the background, giving, the newcomer a chance to see a little bit better.
It's a harder perspective to play in the back.
But you can still play this game multiplayer with one Switch, which I think is fantastic.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to try that, but I
Yeah.
like that because like I said, we played with 2 Switches and it was fun. I had no interruptions. There was like no connection errors. It was every time we played, I think it just went from beginning to end. There was no problems. The game never froze. We had perfect time with the local wireless, but I'd be curious to see how it plays just co-op, couch co-op.
A totally additional challenge too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of potential here. It's just a matter of getting people actually interested in the game, and who knows, maybe it'll work, but I'm excited to play it. I really am. Like, I come away from these just surprised and impressed by what they did, and now I want more.
I think that's what it is. I think that it's not a hyped up game, so we went into it with just low expectations or just no expectations, and then to come out of it saying, "Wow, that's really cool. I hope people play this." But we are only feeling that because we've actually had hands-on time with it in
Absolutely.
PAX and at this event. So it's hopefully Nintendo is able to get this into the hands of others through a demo or through a different, a spotlight or something before launch to get people kind of saying, "Oh, that looks like fun."
I think people need to actually play it themselves, because even watching someone else play it, it seems like a lot of stuff is happening and it can be a little confusing, but it's one of those things, like as soon as you start playing it, within the first couple minutes it just gets like really easy and becomes kind of intuitive for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You just have to get your hands on it.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a little while to realize, like sometimes I can go like across 2 conveyor belts, but other times I couldn't. It's like, why is that happening? And then I realized, oh, it's because there's actually a gap in that second conveyor belt where I can actually go across it and just go directly to the next plate. If it's something blocking it, obviously I can't get to that connection. And it's really smart about just you pick up those context clues and you're good to go. And I think it's just going to be a really fun little game, and maybe it'll find an audience. I'm not really sure.
I think it's definitely, once someone starts playing it, you can definitely get addicted to it really quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, well, any other thoughts on Sushi Striker before we wrap things up here?
I just hope that people put it on their radar. I mean, we're going to do like you are. We're going to go on our roof after this and start screaming out, "Play Sushi Strikers." I don't know who we're going to reach, but out here in the boonies, we're going to try to reach people screaming out, "Play Sushi Strikers."
That's awesome. All right, I think that covers it for our Sushi Striker discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. And Danny, Felia, where can they find you at?
You could find us on YouTube at youtube.com/c/the Nintendo Power Couple, and on Twitter and Instagram. We're always on Twitter chatting with people too.
Yeah, definitely follow us, the Nintendo Power Couple.
Yes.
Awesome. And of course, make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Sushi Strikers and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.